Good morning, everybody. Let's do this. Welcome to the transparency. Whoopsies. Hold on one second. All right, let's go like this. All right, try this again. You guys should be able to hear over there. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the transparency. We're going to check out this preliminary hearing. Oh, look at that. Where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been? Oh, Miss Potts. I love when I see my best friends' names pop up. You just get so excited. If you guys don't even know about this yet, but Miss Potts started a channel. I knew that she would. I knew it would only be a matter of time. But you need to go check it out. So, I love her crazy ass. I bombed her chat last night. So, if there's anyone that Miss Potts calls to say, "Hey, Lana, what do you think about this?" And I'm like, "I think you're fucking nuts." And then we laugh. So, go check out Miss Potts' channel. I think it's just called Miss Potts, right? Yuri's math teacher spraying people with green. Sorry for the delay, guys. She actually got the flu last night in the middle of the night. It actually started while I was talking about Jennifer Drake's sister. So that's why I'm doing a part 2 with that. He always comes first. Contrary to what people may say, but that boy's got me whipped. You know? All right, as you guys know, I live in Ohio, which Kentucky's right next to Ohio. I went to the University of Cincinnati, which Kentucky was literally like my partying state at the time because we'd go right across the river. Because my friends, they're like, you can smoke in bars there. I've never smoked in my life. And I'm like, ew, I don't want my hair to smell like that. Then I got to get home. And, you take a shower, but then doesn't mean you have to wash your hair every day that you take a shower. You're not supposed to anyways. But anytime I went out in Kentucky, I always had to wash my hair because it was just like, I would lay on my pillow to smoke. And so, yes, I want to cover this case. I want to see what's going on because I think there is more that meets the eye. So we're going to start first with just right here is the preliminary hearing. And then I'm going to play a couple little clips that mainstream media has done. And then we're going to put in some requests. This is not a gagged case. And so we're going to see what we can do. I got friends that live in Kentucky, so I can say I live in Kentucky. So again, thank you guys for being here. But the rumors with this, yeah, I'm going to destroy those rumors. Give me something to work on while I'm in the midst of finishing up my report. It's like 68 pages for the Drake Moore case with 317 exhibits. So you guys remember when Delphi filed their 319 page Frank's motion? I feel that's how thick mine is. And I'm going to make it available to everybody. It is going to come with a price tag though, only because I put so much time into this. It's like a year and a half that I put in for this report that I did with all the picture exhibits. And so I am going to put a price tag on it only because I want to use that money to be able to do other things that they want to start charging us for. Some FOIA requests are, you don't pay, but they're making us pay for stuff when they say it's too much time or jerk me off shit. So, but also I want to get Cellbrite. I want to look into getting some new software. So that's just very expensive. Okay. And transcripts are the most expensive things I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, wow. And you guys pay the court reporter directly. So like I was wondering, like, do the court reporters get to keep all that money? Because like these court reporters are like saying, hey, yeah, you can Venmo me. Hey, yeah, you can cash at me. Hey, yeah, you can Zelle me. And I'm just like, wait, why aren't I paying the courts if I want something like that? You know? So, hey, kids out there, there is an option to go be a court reporter if you're going to make this type of money. Okay. These transcripts are like insane. Like I'm talking like $6.50 a page if you want it expedited. What? You guys know how much that is if there was like 100 pages? $350 is the lowest you can go. Like you're not paying anything under $350 per page. It's insane how much money in the past 2 months that I've paid in transcripts. It's well over $4,000. Well over that. In fact, I should probably look. Karen, I'm not saying that. Then boom. Karen says, howdy, Lana. All the outstanding mods and all to the wonderful friendships I've made do on this cracker of a show. You call me a cracker? I could be called worse, Karen. Karen, thank you so much. Other thing I want to say is people say to myself, why do I always cover cases like, Lana, you're always trying to get people off, or you're always like for the defendant, or murderers and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wait a second. I think you're missing it. Why would I cover a case that is just so, like, it is what it is? There's nothing to cover. The whole point of suppose like the media and independent journalism is to bring to light the things that are trying to be kept in the dark. Okay. I don't need to cover something that is, it's black and white. Here it is. So that's the best way that I could answer that. And yeah. I be channeling my Karen side. Woohoo. You cover corruption. I cover the possibility of corruption. I also cover stuff that, like, I want the truth on some things because we can prevent things down the road if we know the truth on some stuff. If stuff gets covered up, and even in terms of not like that it's corruption or, but if we can get to the truth on some matters, I think it could save lives. Okay. Especially being a parent, man. I'm sorry, but like, and I'm not going to go down this speech, but these school shootings really affect me. Okay. Cause I just think there are so many ways that should never happen ever again in our lives. So yeah. Okay, great. Awesome. Let's do this. Ready? What else? I think I touched everything I wanted to talk about. Yeah, so I'm thinking about putting it would be like $19.99 for my 320 page report with exhibits. You guys think that's a fair price? Can I teach you how to TikTok? How about you can just do my TikTok? That's the thing, guys. Lana is only one person. There's only 24 hours in a day. I just want a social media team. Ones that aren't fucking whack jobs. So, isn't that very fair, Anne? No, TikTok, it's going away. You can be my manager. I think that's fair, but yeah, I'd rather use Twitter, to be honest with you, now that Twitter's able to do more things that they were before. So here we go.
District Court staff session with the Honorable Rupert Malloy.
Thank you, sir. You may be seated. I'm going to call the case of Commonwealth versus Sean Steins, 24F 147, on for preliminary hearing. Is the Commonwealth ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense surrender?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, call your first witness.
Oh, plus Clayton Stamper.
All right, so Mr. Stamper, if you would. Raise your right hand for me. You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
You state your name for the record, please.
Clayton Stamper,
And how do you spell your name? Mr. Stamper?
ClaytonStamper.
Tell the court how you're employed.
I'm sorry.
How are you employed?
I'm a detective with the Kentucky State Police assigned to Post 13 Hazard.
How long have you been employed in that capacity?
I've been with KSP a little over 24 years, detective since 2006.
And have you, in the performance of duties of detective police, have you investigated the death of Kevin Mullins?
Yes, sir, I did.
And can you tell us on what date that was?
It was September 19th, 2024.
In investigation of that death, were you able to determine who killed Kevin Mullins?
Yes,
And how were you able to do that?
video surveillance footage.
And did you retrieve the video surveillance footage?
I did.
You're at this time, the council move to play video footage.
All right.
Sure, I'm gonna object. You can approach.
Yes, approach the bench.
Just as a matter of course, usually. It's
You ready to proceed?
Come through.
All right, what was that?
Take as a portion of the video.
Yes, it is.
And were you able to identify the party that we saw in that video?
That was Sheriff Mickey Steins and Judge Kevin Mullins,
And also, who had the firearm?
Sheriff Steins.
And then, judge was also in his black robe.
Yes,
Do you know what portion of the courthouse that is?
that is the judge's chambers
And where's that located at, physically located?
in the Letcher County Courthouse.
That's all I have on.
Like cross-examine the witness?
Would you?
That was a short clip that was played there. How long do you believe that clip was?
That we just watched,
Yes, sir.
just 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
10, 15 seconds. In fact, the video that was taken in the judge's chambers between the meeting between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins, it's my understanding that video lasted much longer, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to review the video
I have.
of the prior incident?
I have.
And can you describe for us what happened immediately prior to the clip that we saw?
Sheriff Steins uses his telephone to make some phone calls. He then borrows Judge Mullen's cell phone and appears to make a call on that. And that led to what you just saw.
Okay, so it's my understanding there were some people who were having a meeting with Judge Mullins prior to the sheriff's entry into the chambers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you identified those witnesses?
I don't know the names of them. There's about approximately 4 people in there. Then Sheriff Steins enters the judge's chambers and everybody else clears out.
You don't know their names?
Not right off, no.
Have you prepared a report?
In
Mike,
the process, yes.
you're in the process of preparing a report,
Yes. A lot of information.
but you've not spoken to any of those witnesses?
I'm not directly, but they've all been interviewed. There's recorded interviews of those people in the case.
Okay, so other officers have spoken with those 4 witnesses?
Yes.
And what is your understanding of what those 4 witnesses have said?
I don't recall.
You have no idea what they said?
No.
I want to make sure I understand, had there been a hearing previously this day in chambers?
In the courtroom?
No, in chambers.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And so there's a video camera that is running in the district judge's chambers. Is that on all the time?
It's my understanding, yes.
And have you spoken with anyone about why that may be?
No. I mean, there's cameras throughout the courthouse.
Well, fair enough, but are you familiar with district judges' chambers normally, how they're set up?
No. I mean, some of them have video surveillance and some don't.
Right, but
This one does.
generally, when they have surveillance, you'd agree with me that that is utilized when there is a proceeding going on in chambers, correct?
It could be, yes.
Okay. And I mean, I'm just asking, so this video didn't have an audio recording to it, correct?
There's no audio.
Outside of once the 4 people that were inside that we don't know their names, once these 4 people had left the chambers, were they in an area adjacent where they could hear anything that was going on?
Yes, I believe some of them did remain in the next room.
Okay. And what did they tell us?
Do I?
What did they hear?
I've not been I wasn't part of those interviews.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, you're prepared for a preliminary hearing on a murder and there are witnesses in an adjacent
I
room.
mean, they heard
Now,
gunshots.
please, my question, please.
Yeah, please ask the questions.
Thank you, officer. So you are investigating a murder and testifying in a preliminary hearing, and there are witnesses who may have overheard what preceded this edited clip. Yet you can't tell us today anything that they said?
I've not personally listened to those interviews. I've talked to the other officers that did those interviews.
Fair enough. And I mean, we're here at a preliminary hearing, as you know, that you can testify to hearsay. I'm asking you what they said.
They heard gunshots.
Okay. Was there any statements that we overheard?
No.
Were there raised voices?
One person stated that she didn't recognize him as being Judge Mullen's voice, but heard somebody say, "Help, help."
Presumably that would be after the firearm was drawn or shot.
Objection, Your Honor.
I would draw, Judge. Okay. So is there any testimony that you can give us today about any statements or arguments or the content of that argument prior to the shooting?
No.
I want to ask generally, so did you process the scene? Are you the lead investigator on this case?
I am.
Okay, so as a lead investigator, I would presume that you would have secured the chambers and evidence once you arrived.
I was part of that, yes.
You were part of it, right? But you were the lead investigator, so you'd be in charge of those duties and delegating what should be done. Is that
No.
fair?
No, I don't delegate what's done.
Okay, so you're the lead investigator. What does that mean?
I'm the case officer.
Okay, so you're carrying the case. So I want to make sure I understand, had Judge Mullins been removed from chambers when you arrived?
No,
Were you able to ascertain, did he have a firearm on his person?
we did not locate one.
You did not locate one?
No, there's not one in the chambers.
Okay. And there was none on his person?
No.
All right, who was the first person to arrive on behalf of law enforcement to investigate?
They were already in the courthouse.
Fair enough, but I'm talking about in terms of people that we may see a report from or take part in this investigation. Who would be the first person?
I believe Trooper Jason Bates was the first KSP personnel on scene.
And you spoke with him and
I did.
he searched and did not locate a firearm?
No, he didn't search the scene. No.
You
His-
just,
his role-
sure.
His role at that point was security of the scene.
I understand, but I'm just trying to ascertain, you said earlier that there was no firearm found. I'm
No,
wanting to know, can you tell us, was it specifically searched for a firearm?
in the judge's chambers,
Yes, sir.
there was, myself, Detective Chris Collins, Detective Scott Caldwell, Detective Eric Caldwell. That's all I recall right now.
Okay, but I'm trying to understand, so who searched specifically for a firearm?
We all did.
And that was specifically something you looked for?
Yes.
Fair enough, okay.
Is this no firearm period?
Of course, your investigation, did you ascertain that prior in the day,
So,
there
Willie?
had been a lunch meeting between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins?
There was.
Pardon?
There was.
Sorry, I couldn't hear your response. I wasn't being trite. So where did this take place?
It's a restaurant called Street Side, and it's just down the street from the courthouse.
Okay, and
All right, we're gonna do this one more time because this is just absolute wildness.
were they in an with those four witnesses?
Yes.
And what is that was a short clip that was played there. How long do you believe that clip was?
That we just watched?
Yes,
Just 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
15 seconds. In fact, the video that was taken in the judge's chambers between the meeting between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins, it's my understanding that video lasted much longer, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to review the video
I have.
of the prior incident?
I have.
And can you describe for us what happened immediately prior to the clip that we saw?
Sheriff Steins uses his telephone to make some phone calls. He then borrows Judge Mullins' cell phone and appears to make a call on that. And that led to
Right there, he says he appears to make a call on that. That's not accurate though, because he's saying he appears. So right there, he's getting away with saying that because he's messing with it. So he could say that, oh, well, it looks like he could put it on speakerphone. Looks like he appears to make a call on that. You say those key words because that way you're not lying. Appears. So the judge gives the sheriff his phone. Or was it really his phone or was it a phone? Okay. Let's continue.
what you just saw.
Okay. So it's my understanding there were some people who were having a meeting with Judge Mullins prior to the sheriff's entry into the chambers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you identified those witnesses?
I don't know the names of them. There's about approximately 4 people in there. Then Sheriff Steins enters the judge's chambers and everybody else clears out.
You don't know their names?
Not right off.
Have you prepared a report?
In
Mike,
the process, yes.
you're in the process of preparing a report,
Yes. A lot of information.
but you've not spoken to any of those witnesses?
Not directly, but they've all been interviewed. There's recorded interviews of those people in the case.
Okay, so other officers have spoken with those 4 witnesses?
Yes.
And what is your understanding of what those 4 witnesses have said?
I don't recall.
You have no idea what they said?
No.
I want to make sure I understand, had there been a hearing previously this day in chambers?
In the courtroom?
No, in chambers.
Not that I'm aware of.
And so there's a video camera that is running in the district judge's chambers. Is that on all the time?
It's my understanding, yes.
And have you spoken with anyone about why that may be?
No. I mean, there's cameras throughout the courthouse.
Well, fair enough, but are you familiar with district judges' chambers normally, how they're set up?
No. I mean, some of them have video surveillance and some don't.
Right, but
This one does.
generally when they have surveillance, you agree with me that that is utilized when there is a proceeding going on in chambers, correct?
It could be, yes.
And I mean, I'm just asking, so this video didn't have an audio recording to it, correct?
No audio.
Outside of once the 4 people that were inside that we don't know their names, once these 4 people had left the chambers, were they in an area adjacent where they could hear anything that was going on?
Yes, I believe some of them did remain in the next room.
Okay. And what did they tell us?
Do I?
What did they hear?
I've not been part, I wasn't part of those interviews.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, you're prepared for a preliminary hearing on a murder, and there are witnesses in an adjacent
I
room.
mean, they heard
Can I
gunshots.
put my question, please?
Yeah, that's the question.
Thank you, officer. So you are investigating a murder and testifying in a preliminary hearing, and there are witnesses who may have overheard what preceded this edited clip. Yet you can't tell us today anything that they said?
I've not personally listened to those interviews. I've talked to the other officers that did those interviews.
Fair enough. And I mean, we're here at a preliminary hearing, as you know, that you can testify to hearsay. I'm asking you what they said.
They heard gunshots.
Okay. Was there any statements that we overheard?
No.
Were there raised voices?
There, one person stated that she didn't recognize him as being Judge Mullins' voice, but heard somebody say, "Help, help."
Presumably that would be after the firearm was drawn or shot.
Objection, Your Honor.
I would draw, Judge. Okay. So is there any testimony that you can give us today about any statements or arguments or the content of that argument prior to the shooting?
No.
I want to ask generally, so did you process the scene? Are you the lead investigator on this case?
I am.
Okay, so as a lead investigator, I would presume that you would have secured the chambers and evidence once you arrived.
I was part of that, yes.
You're part of it, right? But you're the lead investigator, so you'd be in charge of those duties and delegating what should be done. Is that
No.
fair?
No, I don't delegate what's done.
Okay, so you're the lead investigator. What does that mean?
That's unreal. That's
I'm the
exactly
case
what you do.
Okay, so you're carrying the case. So I want to make sure I understand, had Judge Mullins been removed from chambers when you arrived?
No,
Were you able to ascertain, did he have a firearm on his person?
we did not locate one.
You did not locate one?
No, there's not one in the chambers.
And there was none on his person?
No.
Okay. All right, who was the first person to arrive on behalf of law enforcement to investigate?
They were already in the courthouse.
Fair enough, but I'm talking about in terms of people that we may see a report from or take part in this investigation. Who would be the first person? that we could-
I believe Trooper Jason Bates was the first KSP personnel on scene.
And you spoke with him and
I did.
he searched and did not locate a firearm?
No, he didn't search the scene. No,
His
his role at that point was security of the scene.
I understand, but I'm just trying to ascertain, you said earlier that there's no firearm found. I
No,
want him to know, did you can you tell us, was it specifically searched for a firearm?
In the judge's chambers,
Yes, sir.
there was, myself, Detective Chris Collins, Detective Scott Caldwell, Detective Eric Caldwell. That's all I recall right now.
Okay, but I'm trying to understand, so who searched specifically for a firearm?
We all did.
And that was specifically something you looked for?
Yes.
Fair? Okay.
He said we all searched, but then he just said Jason Bates didn't.
Of course, your investigation, did you ascertain that prior in the day, there had been a lunch meeting between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins?
There was.
Pardon?
There was.
Sorry, I couldn't hear your response. I wasn't being trite. So where did this take place?
It's a restaurant called Street Side. It's just down the street from the courthouse.
Okay. And it's my understanding there were a
Probably
couple of other people who attended the luncheon.
There were several, yes.
Okay. And at some point after that, they wrapped up lunch and left, obviously, and went back to the courthouse. Are you aware of anything so far in your investigation that would tell us there was any issues at lunch between Judge
No,
Mullins and Sheriff Steins?
no,
But someone on behalf of the KSB has spoken to those witnesses?
yes, they've all been interviewed.
And there was nothing unusual that had arisen during that luncheon?
I was told that the judge made a statement to Mickey about, do we need to meet private in my chambers? That's all I was told.
Do you know the context of
I do,
what the conversation was before that they would need to discuss in chambers?
I do not.
So it's my understanding that in the larger portion of the video that we haven't had access to, that there is a point when Sheriff Steins asked for to see the telephone of Judge Mullins.
Yes,
Is that a yes? I mean,
yes,
yes, okay. And I would presume that you and the other officers you mentioned, when you secured the scene, that you secured those phones as well. Is that correct?
yes.
And have you reviewed both of those phones?
They're currently at the forensic lab at this time being downloaded. I have had discussions with the people at the lab regarding the downloads.
And those are a couple of other questions that I was going to ask you, but my original question was, have you reviewed or are you aware of the content of the phones?
I've not personally seen it because I've not received those reports yet.
Okay, again, based upon your conversations with the officers, are you aware of any recent content that was up and could have been relevant at the time of their discussion?
I was told that Sheriff Steins had tried to call his daughter, and he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also.
So have you obtained the phone records from Judge Mullins' phone?
I don't have those in my possession yet. No.
Okay, have you issued a search warrant for them?
Yes,
Okay. And have officers confirmed that the sheriff's daughter's phone number was on Judge Mullins' phone?
yes.
Okay.
So,
So
yes,
that number had been called from Judge Mullins' phone. Is
Yes.
that correct?
yes.
So we don't have a viewing of what transpired during that exchange of phones. But based upon your review of those moments prior to, when Sheriff Steins observes that cell phone, was he previously seated?
Yes.
Okay, so in the clip we saw, he was standing the entire time.
He was seated in front of the judge's desk.
And he looks at the cell phone. What is it? Can you describe his reaction in the video that we haven't seen?
Whose reaction?
Well, the sheriff.
You can't see his face in the video.
Okay. But is it clear that, does it appear to you that, let me rephrase this. Did he stand up after
Yes,
looking at the phone?
he stood up.
And how long after he looked at the cell phone and stood up did this occur that you played?
Just seconds.
Did you make the decision as on edits today for what you were going to present?
Do
In
what?
terms of, did you make the edit or determine
No,
which portion of the video we were going to see today?
no, sir, I did not.
Okay. Both cell phones have been sent to the Kentucky State Police forensic
Yes,
team, is that correct?
yes,
Have you gotten any early report on what was found?
no.
What was Were both phones still on the desk when you arrived?
The judge's phone was on the desk. Sheriff Stein's phone was on his person.
Okay, so are there photographs of, was the phone locked at that point or was it still open?
With both of you asking about both of them or?
Well, first, let's talk about, that's fair. First, I'm talking about Judge Mullins, since it was the one that was still on the desk and presumably nobody touched it prior to you securing it, correct?
No.
So, yeah, so I would like to know about that. Have you ascertained what was currently open on that cell phone?
No, I don't know at this point. No.
You don't know?
No.
Okay, do you think that will be important to learn?
I hope to learn that when the report's ready, yes.
Okay. But as of today, you can't tell us
No.
what was currently open on the judge's file.
No, sir.
Did you conduct an interview with Sheriff Stein's daughter?
I did not, but she has been interviewed.
Are you aware of who was present when she was interviewed?
Lieutenant Randy Combs and Detective Anthony Trotter,
Okay. Then she was interviewed with or without her parent?
with,
So her parent was present at the time you interviewed her?
yes, I believe. I wasn't there, but yes, I think so.
The law enforcement has not spoken to her without the parent present?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did the Kentucky State Police obtain her phone?
No,
You intend to obtain records for her cell phone number?
possibly, yes.
Do you believe that that will be soon that you'll do that?
Could be, yes.
Had you already intended to do that or did you just respond to my question?
Well, the call should be on the judge's records too.
Well, I understand.
And she's made statements about what occurred during those conversations.
I understand that, but I would presume that, have you ascertained whether Judge Mullins also had apps that stand outside all phone records?
I've not received those records yet. I don't know what's on the phone.
Fair enough, but I mean, did you look at the phone? Did it appear there were apps on it?
I'm not the person that's qualified to look through the phone.
Okay, but you're familiar with cell phones. They can host other forms of communication.
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
What's the
He's
objection?
gonna ask an answer, He's asked a question, I think about 4 or 5 different things. The officer, the detective, he just said, he does not have a report with phones, he's not good with the phone, he can't testify to that.
I should
Let him ask the question, well, you can only testify what his personal knowledge about.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. So you're aware that phones can be used for apps such as Facebook.
Yes,
Okay. And that is not something that is captured by cell phone records. You would agree with me?
I agree.
So in light of that, although the records may be mutually the same, right, the same between Judge Mullins' phone and the sheriff's daughter, do you believe that you could also ascertain other information from the cell phone app content?
Are you asking what apps are on the phone?
Yes. Well, that was my original question, but I
don't know
thought you did know.
about, I've not received that report yet. I don't know what apps he had downloaded on the phone.
If he has social media apps, do you intend to?
That could lead to additional search warrants, yes.
If you would, officer, please let me finish before you move forward, and I'll try to slow down a little bit as well, okay?
Sure.
Take your truth. Have you determined whether there were any previous issues, personal or professional, between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins?
I've heard things,
What have you heard?
just that, this regarding the lawsuit that the Letcher County Sheriff's Office is currently involved with.
The lawsuit that involved ultimately a criminal conviction of deputy for sexual behavior in the judge's chambers. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay, and the subject matter of information from the cell phone app content?
Are you asking what apps are on the phone?
Yes. Well, that was my original question, but I
don't know
thought you did know.
about, I've not received that report yet. I don't know what apps he had downloaded on the phone.
If he has social media apps, do you intend to?
That could lead to additional search warrants, yes.
If you would, officer, please let me finish before you move forward, and I'll try to slow down a little bit as well, okay?
Sure.
Take your truth. Have you determined whether there were any previous issues, personal or professional, between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins?
I've heard things,
What have you heard?
just that, this regarding the lawsuit that the Letcher County Sheriff's Office is currently involved with.
The lawsuit that involved ultimately a criminal conviction of a deputy for sexual behavior in the judge's chambers. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay, and the subject matter of that lawsuit, the chambers area, that's the same chambers in which this occurred, is that correct?
I'm not familiar with the details of that case that the lawsuit resulted from.
Okay. Are you aware of any criminal reports that Sheriff Steins had made of Judge Mullins prior to this day?
No.
Did you personally observe Sheriff Steins following this video?
Did I personally observe him?
Did you meet with him? Did you talk to him after?
He was in custody when I arrived at the courthouse that afternoon.
And at some point, did you draw any observation about his demeanor?
He was mostly calm, I thought. I mean, I talked to him, but he didn't say nothing about why this had happened, but he was calm. He was kind of afraid that basically all he said was, treat me fair. That's basically the comments he made.
Okay. Did he also make a statement about, I don't see it in the citation here, but somewhere along the line I saw a statement being attributed to him about protecting his family?
I wasn't present, but when he was taken into custody, I was told by one of the other officers that were there that he made a comment, they're trying to kidnap my wife and kid.
Have you ascertained any evidence that this shooting was pre-planned?
No.
Okay.
Not this time.
And would you agree that from what we've seen so far, from the evidence you've seen so far, the shooting was a reaction to what was on that cell phone in that moment? Is that accurate?
Objection, Your Honor. Also speculation outside of his scope of expertise.
Well, shit, that's what he's doing. He's a
Your Honor, I believe that if he is forming an opinion about the
He's an
investigation of this,
investigator.
especially at a preliminary hearing, he can speculate. on that,
Absolutely.
Judge.
Oh, no, just a
Sure. So, is there anything other than the content of the phone that this video will reveal to us about why this took place?
No.
Does it appear that this took place as a reaction
wait,
to what was happening in the chambers at that point?
wait, right there.
Content of the phone that this video will reveal to us. Your Honor, I believe that if he has formed an opinion about the investigation up to this point, especially at a preliminary hearing, he could speculate on that, Judge.
oh, no, just a
Sure. So, is there anything other than the content of the phone that this video will reveal to us about why this took place?
No.
Does it appear that this took place as a reaction to what was happening in the chambers at that point?
I can say it occurred after a phone call was made. I don't know what was said or nothing like that, but
But fair enough, and I'm not asking you the content of any of that, but at this point, is it your theory that whatever that content was in the discussion was the impetus of the shooting?
could be, but I don't know that for a fact.
Do you
You're
have
an
any evidence
investigator.
up until this point that you have developed that would demonstrate that it was not as a reaction to what was on the phone?
No,
None whatsoever?
no.
Just if I had,
Okay, you just testified that this was not pre-planned. That's why he asked you this question to lead it off. You have no evidence here that says that this was pre-planned for him to go in there and no, there's no evidence of that. Okay, so that means it wasn't pre-planned, and that means it was reactionary, and that means what came before him shooting the judge? Him looking at the phone, making a phone call, whatever you want to say it occurred. So that is, would you say that's what caused this? Right? this was not planned. That's what he does right before. And he doesn't say have any words for him, like even just after the call, like they don't have any conversation. Like,
As a reaction to what was on the phone?
No,
None whatsoever?
no.
Just if I had just one moment. to confirm.
what a fucking, that's a bold-faced lie right there.
Could be, but I don't know that for a fact.
Okay. Do you have any evidence up until this point that you have developed that would demonstrate that it was not as a reaction to what was on the phone?
No,
None whatsoever?
no.
Just if I had just one moment to confirm. Did you attempt to speak to Sheriff Steins at the Leslie County Jail after the incident?
No,
Did anyone from your agency attempt to interview him?
not to my knowledge, no.
And at that point, had he asserted his right to an attorney or anything?
No,
But nobody went back to try to talk to him or do an interview?
That's awesome.
no.
Huh. When would that ever happen? Leslie County Jail. No one spoke to him because you know why? Because the stuff they would have had to record the conversation. It would have been on video, and then everything that he would have then said would have been documented. Okay. No one spoke to to find out why you just fucking shot a man. As wow, he did not invoke right to counsel. He did not basically invoke his fifth, but right there, great question right there.
I think I have one other question. In addition to cell phones that we've discussed, the cell phone of Sheriff Steins and the cell phone that you found of Judge Mullins, were there additional phones that you were able to obtain?
There was one other phone that's currently being examined. And the basic reason it was seized was there was a text conversation between Sheriff Steins and some of his employees with the sheriff's office.
Okay, and that was an additional phone of Sheriff Steins.
It was a phone of, I guess she's the, I don't know what her title is, but she's employed. She's not sworn. She's employed by the Letcher County Sheriff's Office. And she voluntarily gave her phone to the person that interviewed her.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, what could you explain why that was relevant or germane to your investigation?
I didn't
Jermaine,
conduct that interview, but it was, I guess it was regarding the dinner at Streetside and things that led up to
dinner or lunch?
the shooting. But I don't have those results either, so I don't know exactly what was said.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought when we discussed that earlier that you indicated there was no evidence that the conversations at the lunch.
I haven't seen those conversations yet. I've not received downloads from the phone.
Right, but I asked you if you're aware of any information that could have been gleaned from witnesses at that meeting. And as I recall, you said no, but there is some information that something was discussed at this lunch. Is that correct?
I don't know what was discussed at lunch.
I understand, but you obtained this lady that we don't know her name. You obtained her phone in an effort or based on a belief that she would be able to demonstrate what was said at lunch. So you would agree with me, you believe that there is a witness or information that may have popped up at lunch.
There's a recorded interview with her in the case, and I'm yet to receive the downloads of the phone, so I don't know what they contain.
Okay, well, has that phone been sent to for
It is.
forensic examination as well?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Also, that's all I have. Thank you.
Read that. What? Is-
Lexington's supposed to me.
Medical examiner officer Malthouse.
He was.
Have you received that report yet?
No.
Have you had an informal conversation with him regarding his cause of death?
Yes.
And what was that?
Multiple gunshot wounds.
The video we showed earlier, that a true and accurate copy of what you received?
Yes.
Hopefully, introduce counsel exhibit one, Your Honor.
Any objection?
Your Honor, I've asked, of course, all we saw today was the clip, but I asked it to be admitted in its entirety, and I'm going to
I'm gonna respond to that.
Good job. I don't think one right here is required for probable cause. This establishes probable cause. I think the entire clip is outside the purview of the, these proceedings today.
I think you're gonna want to see the whole video, should check her, I'll admit. With short, that's quick.
Wait a second. Wait, what? What was his
I'm
ruling?
gonna respond to that.
Good job. I don't think one right here is required for probable cause. This establishes probable cause. I think the entire clip is outside the purview of the, these proceedings today.
I think you're gonna want to see the whole video, should check her, I'll admit. With short, that's quick.
Hey, Detective, this is an ongoing investigation.
Yes, it is.
And as this ongoing investigation proceeds, you will be, also interviewing more people if necessary, submitting more evidence to the lab.
Yes.
That's all I have. Your Honor.
Cross. All right, any other witnesses for the Commonwealth?
No further. Your
All
Honor.
right, you may speak. Any witnesses for the defendant?
There you are.
I'll find probable cause and find this case over the grand jury. Anything else before we turn forward?
Yeah, just trying to, there's no, we're not allowed to sum up, judge what.
Well, if you want to make an argument, sure.
But it sounds like I mean, I may change your mind, Judge.
There's a probable cause hearing, so, but yes,
I understand.
take your best shot.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, so, murder under our statute, as the court knows, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but if there is an issue as to extreme emotional disturbance, then there has to be some evidence that would rebut that. And specifically, when I asked the witness today if there was any evidence to rebut that this occurred as a direct result in the moment of this observation, I don't have none at this point. And I give it's just probable cause, but I think they've established probable cause for manslaughter first, but not murder.
Yes.
Because I've heard nothing that indicates that this is not, an example of an extreme emotional disturbance relative to the phone. At any rate, Judge, respectfully, I understand the court's previous ruling, but I did want to address that with you.
That's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to respond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Extreme emotional disturbance is a defense. There's not been a defense presented here at this court today. The evidence presented in this court today is that the judge was intentionally shot and killed, multiple times by the sheriff, and there's probable cause to find the grand jury murder charge.
Yeah, I agree. There's probable cause to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else before we adjourn for today?
Your Honor, in terms of, we'd like to discuss, if we could, lodging from here where he's transported. Is it the court's intention to have him take, and I don't want to discuss that potentially publicly, Your Honor.
I'm not sure I can make that, help you on that.
Sure. So,
I mean, you're welcome to staff report and discuss that, but I'm not sure I can tell the.
sure. So the transport order that was entered that will direct Sheriff Steins to go back to where he came from, Judge. Is that
Let's
fair?
let's adjourn forward and we'll talk about that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know that I can change where he's going to be at.
I'm sure. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we can discuss it. All right.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Court's adjourned.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, good morning if you're just joining us. Yeah. Yuri, thank you again so much. Karen turned people green. Amy. Hi, Amy. Anyone else think the judge was trying to help the wife and daughter get out of a DV situation? No, I don't at all. No, I don't at all. I think that, woo, doggy. Well, I know that I'm calling the Street Side Grill and Bar here in 19 minutes. all bars have surveillance cameras. Does anybody know what time the lunch was at? Anybody know what time the lunch was at? These are my questions and my lovely note-taking skills here. So first of all, I want a list of only video surveillance that doesn't do audio nowadays. Why you would have a camera that doesn't have audio. I question the camera if it was in fact, if it was a personal camera, if it was court issued. The 4 people meeting with the judge, what I'm trying to determine is how much time was between the lunch and then this meeting. So does anybody know that when the shooting occurred? So again, I'm looking for the time that lunch happened because they were together. Then the time that the shooting occurred. Also, I think it's totally interesting that they didn't turn over the entire clip and just wanted to snip it for the 5 or 10 seconds or, I think that that is absolutely amazing. Okay. So they had a video that had, because my question is this, were the 4 people that were in there with the judge before, is there a video of that? Okay. So is there video of the 4 people in there? Then the 4 people leave. He goes in. Again, so I want the time frame of when lunch was over. They get back, the judge gets back to his chambers. How long transpired until the 4 people came in, and then how much time transferred until the sheriff came in. And we're going to go back to the 1432 mark of my video, which is, let's go like this.
That it's my understanding there.
Steins and Judge Kevin Mullins,
And also, who had the firearm?
Sheriff Steins.
And then, judge was also in his black robe.
Yes,
Do you know what portion of the courthouse that is?
that is the judge's chambers
And where's that located physically located?
in the Letcher County Courthouse.
It's all having on.
Like across the damn woods.
Would you? That was a short clip that was played there. How long do you believe that clip was?
That we just watched,
Yes, sir.
just 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
So 15 seconds. In fact, the video that was taken in the judge's chambers between the meeting between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins, it's my understanding that video lasted much longer, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to review the video
I have.
of the prior incident?
I have.
And can you describe for us what happened immediately prior to the clip that we saw?
Sheriff Steins uses his telephone to make some phone calls. He then borrows Judge Mullins' cell phone and appears to make a call on that.
Makes some phone calls. He didn't say what appears to be when he's talking about the sheriff using his own phone.
Prior to the clip that we saw?
Sheriff Steins uses his telephone to make some phone calls.
See, he uses his telephone to make some phone calls. There was no, it appears to be. Okay. So Sheriff Steins is using his telephone to make some phone calls. And then this is where he uses the word, why wouldn't you say makes a call or watch?
He then borrows Judge Mullen's cell phone and appears to make a
So Judge Mullins just hands over his cell phone and he doesn't say, and he makes a call on that. He says appears. And I've been watching this shit way too long to know why you're using the word appears.
call on that. And that led to what you just saw.
Okay, so it's my understanding there were some people who were having a meeting with.
Okay. So, all right. So then I want to know again how long the video was, who these 4 people were. Were they freaking citizens? I mean, who were these 4 people? Were they lawyers? I mean, judges meeting before, with 4 people, witnesses. Well, they got labeled witnesses because they stuck around. But who are these 4 people? Then I think the defense attorney is alluding to it. Okay, Chambers video cameras running all times. He's trying to say there's cameras all over the courthouse. Okay. Then we get to the big one. Again, I'm telling you guys, no audio with the video recording is, the 4 people then, they don't leave. They remain there. Okay. They didn't leave. So why did they remain there? If the meeting was over, so if I'm a judge and I have 4 people in my office and you knock on my door and the sheriff's like, hey, can I talk to you? Yeah, let me finish up with them and I'll be right with you. Or, oh yeah, hold on a second. Can you guys please step outside so I can talk to this man really quick? Like I'd finish up with these people. Like, why would they be waiting around? That doesn't make sense to me. I'm in a meeting. What the fuck's going on here? Like a judge just doesn't also, how did the sheriff get just in? Because what seems to me is that this meeting wasn't over, because if it was over, the 4 people wouldn't, why are they still around? Why wouldn't they leave? He's investigating a murder, right? And all these people, all he says on the stand is that they heard gunshots. No raised voices. That's what I said was weird. Is that you're not going to have a conversation after you do make that call or what appears to be a call. Wouldn't you be asking this guy? Wouldn't the sheriff be asking the judge after he would have allegedly made this phone call to say, we don't even know. People out there could think that, okay, he got his phone. He went to scroll through he typed in his daughter's name, let's say, then press send. No. Because what would that tell you? Or did you go to a number or a name that you think that you were concealing to be your kids? The lead investigator sits here and says that he does not delegate. I'm dead. What the fuck do you do? I don't delegate. Well, then who tells people what to do? Who's in charge here? Okay. The boss delegates. All right. I'm just sorry. Like, you're the boss. He's like, I'm the case officer. And that's starting to piss me off because it's all of these detectives and investigators saying on the stand, if they're the lead. Same thing that Payne said. No, I'm the case officer. You could take your case officer and shove up your motherfucking ass. Okay, I'm going to sit here. You're going to tell this courtroom what are the duties of the case officer. Okay. Then I would have been a smartass and said, okay, well, you got Trooper Jason Bates that just arrives. Who told him to man the scene? Did he just decide to do that himself? Now, we know that the judge and the sheriff met for lunch. We found out during this preliminary hearing that there were other people present. So I want to know, and I don't understand why they didn't ask, who are the others that attended this lunch? Like, if you know that you're going to even lose on this probable cause bullshit, try to get as much information as you can. You want to get as much testimony as you can because you can use that down the road if they lied. So you want to ask, I mean, now they had an opportunity to put, the defense had an opportunity if they wanted to call the sheriff to the stand there, just so you guys know that. Now, see telephone of Judge Mullins, secured phones, forensic lab downloads. That's what's hilarious to me is that, for example, like the Jennifer Drake case, Brian Drake case, those phones, like ISP did those immediately and had them back. They didn't send them to some lab and we're still waiting and waiting and waiting. So I don't understand why they didn't. Here, we can send that there, but you didn't take the phone and physically download it. You didn't physically download in Cellbrite or something like that. Bullshit. Phone records take no time to get back. You don't have the fucking phone records back. Bullshit. Combos, content. Again, remember, I should take that back. They probably didn't do this stuff, guys, because you learn when you're going through your little training or being a 24 years here. If you don't do something, then you can't be a liar. Okay. We just need probable cause for him. So stall on putting in the search warrants. Okay. They should have asked, when did you apply for that search warrant? When did you apply for that search warrant? When did you apply for these search warrants? What search warrants had you applied for, And then he's just going to say, well, you don't recall any of this. I want to know how many the discovery demands that his defense team did prior to this, because, and yes, you could say it's probable cause, but if you wanted to fight the fact that it was murder versus manslaughter, then you should have done way more work. Okay. To the defense should have done way more work if you wanted to argue that this was, murder versus manslaughter. And, so whatever. They don't have the daughter's phone. I would think the wife's phone. Then he brings up a good point with the whole apps. Okay. We don't know if when what's his name? The sheriff took the guy's phone, which I think it's hilarious that you would be like this. I'm going to hand you over my phone. Okay. Why did the judge hand over his phone? Number one. But number two, we don't know that he actually then is making a call. That's why he says he appears to make a phone call. If he would have went to his WhatsApp or his any type of app thing, it wouldn't come up in your phone records. So when they say, well, we'll show up in the judges, so we didn't need that. What do you mean we didn't need that? You're supposed to preserve as much as you can, okay? Especially like you're trying to prove murder then too. Like this is not going to be murder. This is not murder. The guy even said on the stand, is not premeditated. He wasn't planning to go there to kill him. Okay? So what the fuck happened in there? Now they say share the phone record, search warrant, daughter's number on judge's phone, and he says what they think is yes. And I'm curious to know why he's saying yes if he hasn't seen the phone. If he hasn't seen the phone, then how is he saying yes to that?
Sheriff Steins asked for to see the telephone of Judge Mullins.
Yes.
Is that a yes? I mean,
Yes.
yes. Okay. And I would presume that you and the other officers you mentioned when you secured the scene, that you secured those phones as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
And have you reviewed both of those phones?
They're currently at the forensic lab at this time being downloaded. I have had discussions with the people.
That wasn't his question, just so you guys know. He answered a question that wasn't asked of him. That's really, really bad when a detective does that. That wasn't even the fucking question.
People at the lab regarding the downloads.
And those are a couple of other questions that I was going to ask you, but
You hear that? And those were a couple other questions that I was going to ask you. But my original question was,
my original question was, have you reviewed or are you aware of the content of the phones?
I've not personally seen it because I've not received those reports yet.
Okay, again, based upon your
again, the question is we don't need any reports here. Did you look to the phone? Did you do a preliminary? They have sub, right?
conversations with the officers, are you aware of any recent content that was up and could have been relevant at the time of their discussion?
I was told that Sheriff Steins had tried to call his daughter, and he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also.
So, have you obtained the phone records from Judge Mullen?
So right there, how do you know that? What do you mean you were told that? What do you mean you were told that? Now listen to this part. Ready? So he was told that. The only way that he could have been told that is from looking at those phones, because the judge is dead and nobody talked to the sheriff. Okay? You understand that? So you guys just said on the stand that none of you guys talked to the sheriff, even though he didn't even invoke anything. You guys just chose not to talk to him. The judge is dead. So who could have possibly told you that the sheriff tried to call his daughter, and then the sheriff on his phone, and then the sheriff grabbed, asked for Mullen's phone, and then tried to call his daughter from that phone? Where would you get that information from? How would you possibly get that information? Well, I'll tell you how. Going through the fucking phones. That's how. That's how. Or there was actually audio inside the chamber. Only two ways. Sorry.
What's his phone?
I don't have.
So I don't know why his follow-up question was as well, who told you that? I'm not a lawyer, but I'm good at questioning. Like,
Have those in my possession yet. No.
Okay, have you issued a search
Yeah,
warrant for them?
Yes.
Okay. And have officers confirmed that the sheriff's daughter's phone number was on Judge Mullins' phone?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes.
So that number had been called from Judge Mullins' phone. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
okay, see, no, you're not. That was a poorly worded question. Let's rewind that.
Issued a search
Yeah,
warrant for them?
Yes.
Okay. And have officers confirmed that the sheriff's daughter's phone number was on Judge Mullins' phone?
Right there. What do you mean it was on it? Like, that's a poorly worded question, because it would be on it after the sheriff dialed the number. If the sheriff dialed his own daughter's number, it'd be on it then. So the question needed to be stated as, and he's saying that he confirmed, like, did you confirm this? And then you just say, how did you confirm this? Like, but first of all, that's a poorly worded question to say, was it stored in there? Was there a contact? Was it just a number without a contact name? Was the number assigned to a different person? Okay. That's like the number one way to catch somebody. Like, you make a phone number, your buddy's phone number, so that when you're hanging out and the person's calling you, your significant other looks at it and they're like, oh, Bobby's calling you, your friend. And And then you got to call Bobby back and act like an idiot and be like, hey, what'd you want? And then Bobby's like, I didn't fucking call you. And then Bobby realizes what happened and says, I can't believe that you're still lying to your wife. Like shit like that. My friend did that and I caught them. I was like, dude, do not bring me in your fucking bullshit. Take my name out of whatever contact you got on your phone right now because I'm not playing these games. You don't want me to, you don't want it. Just don't have me, don't use me, use someone else.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So
yes.
that number had been called from Judge Mullins' phone. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
See, then you say that number had been called. Well, yeah, because if oh my God. How does he know this without seeing the phone? I mean, this guy is up here either A, lying his ass off, or B, is dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
Or both. C, all of the above.
So we don't have
Poorly worded question.
a viewing of what transpired during that exchange of phones. But based upon your review of those moments prior to, when Sheriff Steins observes that cell phone, was he previously seated?
Yes.
Okay, so in the clip we saw, he was standing the entire time.
He was seated in front of the judge's desk.
And he looks at the cell phone. What is it? Can you describe his reaction in the video that we haven't seen?
Whose reaction?
Well, the sheriff.
You can't see his face in the video.
Okay. But is it clear that, does it appear to you that, I don't know, let me rephrase this.
Yeah.
Did he stand up after
Yes.
looking at the phone?
He stood up.
And
What-
how long after he,
Wouldn't one of your questions be, did there seem to be any conversation between the two? Did there seem to be any conversation when the judge supposedly grabs or gets the sheriff's phone or the judge's phone and dials up what's presumably like what, his daughter's number? How long was that conversation? Okay. So basically the bottom line here is that this sheriff didn't just shoot this judge for no reason. Okay. He shot him for a reason. Okay. And Kentucky State Police, they don't want to find out what the reason is. They have him. They have a dead, their judge is dead. They have their sheriff in custody and they don't want to question to find out what the hell just happened. Let me tell you what, guys, you don't ask questions that you know the answers to. All right. And they could even downplay and hide the fact to even just like, why don't you just go in there then? But you don't ask questions that you know the answers to. In this situation, why you would not, I've never heard of this in my life again, that, you know, somebody didn't invoke and they hadn't asked for a lawyer. And did you read them their Miranda rights? I mean, you think that like, and if they were just at lunch together, okay, who goes to lunch with somebody if it was planned to go to lunch and then literally just what? It could have been 30 minutes later. It could have been an hour or two. I mean, I don't know how much time because they don't fucking talk. They don't say any of that. I have no idea how much time elapsed. But whoever those four people were in that judge's chambers before he goes in there are very important. They're so important. You know how I know they're so important? Because if they weren't, homie G would have coughed up the four fucking names. Okay. That's number one. NN got the first scoop. I shared it. First scoop of what? Be careful what you listen to with NN. Time is oh, it's perfect. It's 11:04. Make my phone call now. Let's go ahead and call up the. Hey, are you guys located? What county are you guys in? I'm trying to make sure this is the right place. Okay, cool, cool. Do you guys do takeout orders? We do. Okay, cool, cool. Well, then I will come in. And you guys serve alcohol? Yeah, we do. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. This is the right one. Okay, bye, love. All righty, got the right one. All righty, it's a grill and bar. Serving chicken wings and potato skins. And it's located at 203 Main Street, Whiteburg, Kentucky. 41858. Okay. Oh, how far is that from this courthouse? Directions. How they say that county? I thought it was like Leslie County, but it's not. They just spelled it wrong. So it's what? Oh. Letcher County, Kentucky. Letcher County, Kentucky. Letcher, thank you. Thank you. Letcher Courthouse. Let's see if that works. Oh boy, it's literally right next door. It's a 1-minute drive. Street Side Grill and Bar is literally right across from Letcher County District Court. Fuck it, yeah. That's going to be a fun trip for me. Let's see how long it's going to take me to get there. Your location. Four hours. 4-hour drive. Boy. Okay, so now let's take a look at the outside and see if they got cameras up in this mofo. This town's really special. Street side, wow. It's a shithole. I mean, I love dives, so but wow, it's like, yeah, it's special. Oh, we got cameras. Oh, hell yeah, we got good cameras. We got cameras on the entrance. They got a basement here. Oh, we rocking and rolling. They got cameras. Now I just got to go up there and. What day did this happen? On the 9th? Did they say, was it? Lana, can we see though? You want to see it? What the. I need a time frame if they went to lunch, because that's when I went to lunch. And might be a Covet sideswiped. Yeah, I'll show you the cameras. Hold on. Street side. Why did they take me to their Facebook page? I don't want to be on their Facebook page. I fucking hate Facebook. Okay, here we go. I'm sharing the screen, y'all. This happened on the 19th? Is that right? Fuck, we gotta hurry up and get on this. This camera's got 30 days. All right, right here. Right there. Camera. It faces, it's right there. And it faces, this is street side. Like that. And this is like an outdoor patio area, but you go, there's the door right there. There's your camera. Right there, so I'll make this bigger. Oh God, why did I do that? I just want a time frame. I just need a time that they went in there. I want to know if the same people that were there are the same people that were the 4 people in the meeting when they went over. In other words, it's all fun and games till it's your daughter. I don't know about that. Can you see the courthouse from the street side? Yeah, it's right across the street. Sure is. Let me go back to this. Let me go back to this. And let's see. What's the street out back? Pine Street? What's the other one? Like, look at, there's, see? Church Street. Okay. Okay, yeah, get me on here. Okay, what's this? What's up? All right, yeah, here we go. This is what we want. Pine Street goes all the way right down to the back. I think you have to park in the back to this place. That's the building. That's it right there. It's got to be that building. It sits up on like a hill. Ooh, yeah. Get me back in here. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Main Street. Down on Main Street. What do we got over here? Here we go. Hmm. Tourism. Letcher County tourism. Fuck is that? Who the fuck would take tours of this town? Interesting. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking for some cameras. You only got 30 days to try to get someone to get you some cameras. You never know what you can find. Who's got some of these cameras? The library's got to have some cameras. Summit City, they might have some cameras. The public library, that might be, you might be able to get some FOIAs on the public library. It's public. I've never done a FOIA for a library, but this may be a fucking first. Come look for yourself. Don't mind if I do. Down on Main Street. Wells Bells. All right. One more thing I'll try. Get me on my person. Thank you. All right, here we are. Back me out a little. Let me take a look at you. We got, it's right there on the end. All right. We ain't never gonna get no cameras from them. Ooh, Willie's. We're gonna get some cameras up in this po. Okay, Willie. Okay, what you got for me, Daddy? Where you at, Willie? What you got? Get Willie up in here. Howard Law Firm. Willie Tap House. I know where I'm going. Oh, hell yeah. They're going to have cameras. They got to have cameras. I mean, ring camera, nothing. Ah. Willie, get your ass in here. You're going to call up there and say, I want your cameras. Community Trust Bank. Oh, wait. Banks have cameras. Holy balls. Mad cameras up in this bitch right here. We need a dive place. All right, so they would park over here. What's down this way? Weber Street. Weber Street. Weber Street. What's that? Ooh, sheriffs. Ooh. Here, now we're talking. Letcher County. Is that the sheriff's? Oh, fuck shit. Wow, okay. Oh boy. Is that next to a church? What's that? This is the corner. Mickey Stein's. There it is. Oh boy. Look at how little that is. Itty bitty town. What's that say? Self-storage unit. Oh, hell yeah. Take that number down right there. All right, let's get that. I'm going to ask them if they got. Okay, call them up. What's the area code there? Shit, they don't even have the area code on there. Oh, Foltz. We're just look at your name now, Foltsies. Way to just be idiots. Foltz. Foltz self-storage. Maybe Jennifer Drake owns this. Which one do I want? I want the one on. No, Foltz self-serve. What's it, like a Weber Street? Weber Road? Nope. Damn. Oh, wait, that one. I think I found it. Okay.
If you know your party's extension, press it at any time. For full self-storage, press 1. For Kentucky Mist Distillery, press 2. For Kentucky Drug Testing, press 3. For Brimstone LLC, press 4. For Mayking, Ermine, or Whitesburg, press 1. For Cumberland, press full self-storage.
Hi, I just had moved into town, and I was wondering if I was to use your guys' storage units, how do you guys pay? Like, is it like monthly or upfront or?
It's we bill monthly, but you can pay like ahead if you want, however you want to do it.
Okay, and I have a bunch of my grandma's, like all of her antique stuff. So, do you guys have like, is it monitored camera wise? Like, that no one can steal my stuff.
Is it what now?
Or is it like, do you guys have like cameras? It's all my grandma's old antique stuff. So I just.
Yeah, we've got cameras. Where about you live at?
Oh, I just moved in off of, it's like one of the apartments on top of the buildings over there on Main Street.
Oh, in Whitesburg?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have nothing open yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm full. But we just bought a location that we just acquired it the first.
Oh,
And
perfect.
yeah, so we got to go through it. We got to put cameras up. We got to put a gate. So we just acquired it. It's down Ison Way.
Okay.
If you can wait, or can you wait? Because, I've not even had nobody contact me, let me know when the cameras will be put up or the gate.
Okay. Yeah, I can wait. I mean, I have to do it I have like 90 days to get it out of my other one. So, do you think you'll have it in 90 days?
Oh, yeah. Within 90 days. Yeah, we definitely have one open there.
I mean, I want to have it sooner over, but I'm saying at the very latest, I have to have it out in 90 days.
I would probably even have one open probably here in Whitesburg,
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
not Whitesburg. I know Irvine.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah.
What's your name? Can I come and see you?
A full self-storage.
Oh, no, like your name so I can come meet with you?
Oh, my name's Keith Hall.
Keith?
Yeah, we're located main office up here at May King.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you know anything?
No, I'm gonna, yeah, do you have an address?
Okay, 127 Willow Drive, May King, Kentucky, 41837.
Okay, how far is that from me?
From you, and you're right there in Whitesburg?
Yeah.
Probably 5 miles.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm right past, where do you remember the fire department right side of the road on 119?
Oh, I don't know anything. I'm new. I don't even.
Oh, you knew brand new.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll get on 119, you'll head towards Jenkins.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, and you'll come to this little, you'll go by Arby's in that gas station.
Ooh, okay, Arby's.
And then you'll go by the county and state garage on your left.
Okay.
And a little bit past that, you'll see a little tiny fire department. It's called May King Fire Department. Turn left on that road. It's 1862. And you'll come out there about half a mile, and you'll go across this little tiny bridge.
Okay.
And you'll see the beige tin with green roof buildings.
Mm-hmm.
You'll
okay.
see a sign on there that says Kentucky Drug Testing.
Oh, you guys. Wait, I have to get drug
sign.
tested to get a storage unit?
No, we have several businesses.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, you guys run a tight ship over there.
Yeah, we're real strict.
You have me rolling over here, Keith. You're funny.
Yeah. Hey, what's your name, ma'am?
Oh, it's Lana, Lana. Did you get that?
Yeah. What's the last name?
Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Oh. Okay. And what's your phone number?
Oh, did you say last name? It's Jacobson. And my phone number?
What are you looking for?
Well, that's what I was wondering. Are they heated? Are they not heated? Are they
Well, I have climate control ones, but
not
they
the
very seldom come open.
okay. Well, probably like a medium-sized one. I'm not sure. I don't really like that's like I don't know anything about cars. I don't know anything about measurements. I'm really bad with that. I don't know.
You want to put a car in it?
Oh God, no. No. It's no. Maybe some dead bodies. I'm just kidding.
Wait, well, don't tell me that now. You keep that to yourself.
Oh, the stuff you guys probably come across. I can only imagine, Keith. Yeah, no, it's my grandma's stuff. I would just want to keep it until I get the house, the farm, the dream.
How many bedrooms? How many rooms you think would be moving? Or is it mostly going to be totes and stuff?
Yeah, no, it's all antique stuff. So
okay.
It's not like actual sets to like rooms, but I see what you're saying. I probably have about 4 curio cabinets, 3 dressers, end tables, and I think a couple nightstands. It's all the cherry wood. It's just so beautiful. I just don't want it to get ruined.
Yeah. I say now, yeah, you gotta watch that stuff if you store it for a long period of time.
Okay.
And what I definitely would do is at Walmart, you ever got something and it's got one of them little moisture packs in it?
Moisture packs. I don't even know what
Yeah,
that means.
It's a little pack, white pack, usually in something to keep the moisture out. If you ever bought something to be in there.
Oh.
Even like beef jerky, there's a little moisture pack in it.
What?
Little pack you ain't supposed to eat.
I didn't even know
you
that.
Yeah, okay, you can buy big ones at Walmart.
Oh, okay.
About the size of a beanbag.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then you put them in your storage
You
unit?
put them in the storage unit and it'll draw that moisture.
Oh,
And
wow.
it'll save that furniture mildew.
Oh, nice. We were gonna, yeah, okay.
So if
I just was gonna bubble wrap it, but wow. Okay. So should I not bubble wrap my stuff?
Yeah, it will hit. Keep just you gotta keep an eye on it. If you
Oh,
want
okay.
antique furniture,
Oh, I visit
and
her
it's
stuff a
stored for
lot.
long time. Yeah, every couple months, go in there and check that out.
Oh, yeah. No, I
That's right.
visit often. That's why I cared about if it was,
So-
I just don't want anything to happen to it. So if there's just cameras, I'm good, and then I'll check on her stuff all the time.
So
Like I got my
Timothy and
Christmas
open.
stuff. Like she got me all those knickknacks. So every time like a season comes along, I'm always going to it to take out, here's my Thanksgiving stuff I
Yeah.
put up. Here's my Christmas stuff. So I visit, yeah.
so if I get a 10 by 10 open, I'll call you and let you look at it. That's the medium sized one.
Okay.
But you might need to go up to 10 by 15.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way,
Whatever you guys
either
have,
one
even
comes
if I
up.
have to, get a bigger one, I don't have that much stuff. I just need the space so nothing happens to grandma stuff.
Well, as soon as one comes open, I will call you.
Okay. And then am I able to still come down and see you so I can check it out?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great.
Yes, do you see my making location where we're at all the time?
Okay.
I can tell you, we got a location right there beside Big Daddy's Liquor Barn.
Okay. I don't know, but I'm going to look up all these places.
Then we got a location right beside the courthouse. And then we got a location right
That's the
behind
one I
Christmas
saw. That's the one I saw because that's the closest one to me is the courthouse one.
Right
There.
beside the courthouse.
Yeah, it was, I saw, yeah, it was about like a bank, I think, maybe courthouse.
Yeah, that's
That's the
Yeah,
one, that's
well,
closest to me.
well.
If there's anything
I
that
hope
comes.
one comes open there, but that right there is probably at least. Well, let me say,
Okay.
I do have a auction on the 15th.
Ooh, auction 15.
And a couple of the actual climate control ones is up for auction. That ain't saying they won't pay, like right before the auction, but
Oh, and then do I just show up for those auctions? And then if they don't,
it'd be in the paper.
It'd be
if
in
they
the-
don't- Yeah, it'd be in paper. It'd be the 15th because I put it in paper. You'll see it next week. Full sale store auction.
and I could just bid on it and I would
Yeah,
get
you
up.
know, just like TV, except you don't find Fender guitars and money and
yeah.
all that stuff in them.
I can only imagine what I would get.
Yeah, all I've ever seen in the 12 years I've worked here is antique furniture in two different ones.
Oh.
That's all I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, hey,
But,
if I find a bunch of money, I'll split it with you there, Keith.
No. I just want to get the unit empty so I can rent it to somebody. I got like 60 people wanting units.
Well, make it 61, Keith.
Yeah. But I'll put you up on top, okay?
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. And then I'm gonna come see you. And then
Okay.
and then yeah, you have my phone number, so just give me a call as soon as you hear something. But I'll also come down to that auction. Do I just do it through the paper, or can I actually come to the physical location?
Yeah, the address I gave you, the 127 Willow Drive,
Yeah.
it'll start there at 9:30 a.m.
9:30 a.m.
And
Okay.
yeah, then we'll go down to the other locations if everybody ain't paid up.
Oh, we just travel around and we can just bid on them?
Yeah, we just go. That's all we do.
Okay.
We'll be.
Oh, well, you've been helpful. You have my number, and I will be in touch then, and I'll come and see you. And then I plan on coming to that auction just in case you guys,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, that sounds great. I'll be in touch, Keith. You were so kind.
Okay.
Okay,
You're
thank you. Have a good one.
Uh-huh.
Well. Looks like I'm gonna get myself a storage unit. Things you do. Now, to figure out how I get myself to take a look at that camera. When did this happen? Lana's gonna get a text asking if she wants to go out for dinner. Yeah. Keith probably had a little, he's probably getting a little, he said, I'm gonna put you right up on top. Well, by God, you go ahead and do that, Keith. Put me on top, baby. Wow. Okay. This is almost better than the call-ins, right? All right, so they got cameras. I bet you there's some stuff on there. Keith is going to wonder why that nice young lady never came to get her storage unit. Well, I'm going there. I just think he's going to say, oh, ma'am, I haven't seen you around town. I travel for work. I'm just a little prosty over here. You guys looking for some prosties? Let's take a look. See. Damn. Just pulls out his gun and just empties his clip in a motherfucker. Damn. All I know is that I want to know where these cameras are. Okay, y'all. Okay, can I get over here? Oh, God, get me down that road. No. Right here. Where's cameras? Look at this little thingy here. Come on. Right there, camera. You guys see that? Boom. Holy balls. That's going to have all this shit. That's fucking titties. If that shit works. This reminds me of like over there in like, look at, see, this is all built on a hill. Damn. Okay. I found your little camera though. It better work. Right there. Oh, we'll go back. Camera. All right. Lana making connections before she comes to town. That's going to have the sheriff's office. Right there, though. It's interesting. This little town was up to no motherfucking good, you guys. No good. And I'm going to call him back and tell him that I was looking online and I really want to get the number 1 spot if it's available. The other one I feel most confident with would be the number. I want this one that's right here on the side. And I want to know if I can put my own cameras up there. Keith, can I put my own cameras up? If I can put my own cameras up, then I can put one right on the corner here. And I would just have a field day back here and monitor. Lana, you're nuts, right? Well, hell's bells. If you want some shit done, you got to do it right. Who are these lawyers that are representing this sheriff? Because that sheriff was taking notes and everything during that preliminary hearing. I want to talk to him. Listen, you help me, I help you. I want to know everything that there is about the tricks and the trades of policing. You are nuts. You are smart, adaptable. You like that just on the fly? Fuck you. I just get shit done. All right. So who's this? Who's representing this guy? What's his name? What's the defense attorney's name? Because I think there is some total sex trafficking going on around this town. I believe it's sex trafficking. Can I put my own cameras up? You know, grandma stuff is just really, really important to me. I think Keith would let me do whatever I want. That's what it sounds like to me. All right, so then let's go. I want to look at one last thing with the case. I get the sex trafficking vibe. I do. Who's the prosecutor in that town? Usually it's a triangle, guys. In order to do this, it's usually judge, prosecutor, and then your the sheriff, or like, you know, chief police. I mean, it has to be someone in law enforcement. It's a triangle. You have to complete the triangle. So you're looking at, you need the prosecutor, you need a judge, and you need somebody in policing. That's what you need. So, let's put a FOIA in for the library. You want to know if it's public information to see who is renting Wi-Fi space there. Who is using the Wi-Fi? Who's using the computers? You never want to do that type of stuff on your own Wi-Fi. So I bet you that public library right there was used for some shit. Oh, that's just what I think. No, if these people are just dumb, then they probably did their own. They probably just use their own phones, but his name is Bartley. Okay. He should be trying to get as much surveillance camera as he can around there. You never know what you can find on surveillance cameras. Jeremy. The question is, do we think that the sheriff is involved? And his reaction, guys, his reaction kind of throws me off, because if he was involved, I think he'd have more poise if he was involved. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So I think that what's interesting to me is if he was involved, his reaction is interesting to me. You know, so I question his involvement with whatever the judge was into. The judge clearly into some shit. But I mean, as soon as you pull that trigger, it's over. So it's like, well, the only way I can protect what? Like, there's multiple other people involved in this, and then he's talking about he wants to make sure his kid and wife are protected. Then they were talking about they want to make sure he's okay with this transport. So I'm gonna try to get. How does all this relate to the civil case that was stayed against the sheriff? Well, normally the only things can get stayed is if there was criminal. There has to be something criminal. Very rarely do you see cases getting stayed unless it's coinciding with a criminal case. So what was the criminal case? What criminal case? Let's see. Was anybody have that the civil lawsuit? Today's the first day I looked at this. Civil lawsuit against Mickey Steins. Oh boy. Okay. Steins and Mullins had eaten lunch with a group at a restaurant prior to the shooting, and no witnesses observed any anger in their conversation, according to Kentucky State Police Detective Clayton Stamper, the only witness who testified at the hearing. Still no disclosed motive, but here it is. The full video shows Steins stood up and began shooting only seconds after looking at the judge's phone. So they say looking at the judge's phone. The detective testified, I was told that Sheriff Steins had tried to call his daughter, and he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also, said Stamper, who confirmed that phone records show that the cell phone of Stein's daughter had previously been called from the judge's phone. What? Wait, excuse me? That's not what he testified to. He said he didn't have the phone records. What are wrong with these people? Who's writing these reports? You guys, we just watched that. I can't even. Let me share this screen with you guys. Oh, Atlanta Atkins versus Fields is the criminal case you're looking for. Is there anything online to get on that? It's got to be. It can't be Atkins versus Fields. That can't be a criminal case. A criminal case has to be a town, like government versus somebody. So are you saying that is that the civil case? Unless one of those things is Commonwealth versus Fields. Thank you. Do we have that? Let's see. How the fuck is this? What's the Commonwealth? Mayor. It's on the Cortland website. Coming in hot, all late and shit, Lana. Yeah, damn you. We're over here trying to. Oh, you missed it then. I just made a new friend on one of my phone calls. Let's see. Verse. Fields. If anybody has that, I can send it to my. Oh, found it. Let's see. Who has the case out there? Court listener website has the docket. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know what that means. Court listener docket. Is that like a? Oh, I see what you're talking about. So it's Commonwealth versus Fields. Is there a date that this was brought to? Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, anyways, I think it's interesting that this person's saying that Stamper, who confirmed that phone records showed, he didn't confirm shit about phone records showing shit, that the cell phone of Stein's daughter had previously been called from the judge's phone. Steins was seen in a section of the surveillance video not played in court, calling his daughter on his own phone and then asking to see Mullins' phone, and the judge complied. Like, why would he comply? I would, like, that's weird to me that he would even be complying. Let me go into chat to see if I can grab this. Thanks there, whoever posted it. All right, let me print this. Let me print my shit. I like my shit printed crisp. Yeah, print that. Okay. This was decided August 28th, 2024. It's right around the corner. Right around the corner. Right around the corner. So. Waiting for my legal assistant here. Patty, the printer. Come on, Patty. Ben Fields. All right, so Ben Fields. Let's do some digging on Benny boy. Fields eventually entered guilty pleas on one count of rape. Shit, how do I fucking hate this stuff? In the third degree, and one count of sodomy in the third degree. Jesus. 2 counts of tampering with a prisoner mind device, and 1 count of perjury in the second. Oh, someone's getting charged with perjury. It's nice to see. And he was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment. Okay. While prosecuting the criminal matter, the Commonwealth of Kentucky produced discovery materials to the defendant Fields and his counsel. Now, in the civil matter currently before this court, plaintiffs have subpoenaed Coleman for the copies of this discovery materials, along with a copy of the transcripts of the grand jury proceedings associated with the state criminal case. While plaintiffs have received redacted versions of these materials from the Commonwealth as part of a prior open records request. Yep. Ooh, that means if they've received that, we can get that. Hell yeah. Boom, daddy. Once you give it out once, you got to give it out again. Thank you. Plaintiffs now seek unredacted copies of these records and have represented along with the defendants that the production of these materials is needed before the defendant can be deposed. Coleman has now moved to quash this subpoena on the grounds that the federal doctrine of sovereign immunity precludes the enforcement of plaintiff's subpoena. Ooh. Who is the judge in this case? Complaint. All right. This is a civil action for damages for violation of the constitutional rights of plaintiff by defendants acting under color of state law. The plaintiff, Ben Fields, he was a deputy sheriff. Mickey Steins is the defendant, right? This was filed in 2022. Wait, what? Sabrina Atkins. Oh, she's the plaintiff. Sabrina, where you at, girl? Sabrina is a female, and she was going after Ben Fields, unknown supervisors of Ben Fields, and Mickey. Okay. All right, gotcha. Okay. Plaintiff asserts that the defendant, Fields, in his individual and official capacities, violated plaintiff's rights secured by the 4th and 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution, as well as sections 1, 2, and 10 of the Kentucky Constitution, by subjecting plaintiff to arbitrary action, unreasonable search and seizure, and liberty. The plaintiff also alleges that the defendant, Fields, is liable under state law for damages for false imprisonment, assault and battery, malicious prosecution, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, and gross negligence. Defendant Fields' unknown supervisors and defendant Letcher County Sheriff is alleged to be liable to plaintiff for deliberate indifference in failing to adequately train and supervise defendant. Okay. So she's basically interesting. I don't think that factual allegations. I love when someone says factual allegations. Well, their allegations are not facts yet. It's just funny, whoever wrote this. All preceding paragraphs are incorporated herein by reference thereto, as fully set out herein. So the plaintiff was incarcerated from April 2021 through June 2021. So April, May, June, 2.5 months. In early June 2021, plaintiff was released from Letcher County Jail and placed on home incarceration. So it's kind of like what? House arrest? The Defendant Fields, a deputy sheriff with the Letcher County Sheriff's Department, was assigned to be plaintiff's home incarceration officer. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. After she was released, plaintiff had difficult time finding housing accommodations in Letcher County. Defendant Fields was aware of plaintiff's housing issues as well as plaintiff's domestic issues, which were what? Curious. Who is she dating? Who is Atkins dating? Sabrina Atkins, who were you linked to in 2021? Defendant Fields visited plaintiff in the evening, the night she was released from Letcher County Jail, to bring her cigarettes and to console her. What? Why? Did they like each other? At this time, plaintiff notified defendant Fields that she did not have the money to pay for her ankle bracelet, but she was terrified to return to the Letcher County Jail. Defendant Fields made flirtatious comments about plaintiff's looks and body and told her that he was confident that they could work something out. Plaintiff understood these communications to mean that she would receive favorable treatment from defendant Fields if she provided him with sexual favors. Thereafter, plaintiff and defendant Fields communicated on a regular basis text messages. In late June 2021, defendant Fields asked Sabrina to meet her at the Letcher County Courthouse in the evening after dark. Woohoo, daddy! Defendant Fields took plaintiff into District Judge Mullins' chambers, telling plaintiff that he wanted to meet her there because there were no cameras. Oh my God. Because there were no cameras. At this time, defendant Fields took off plaintiff's ankle monitor and told her that she would not have to pay the associated fees any longer, but could remain out on home incarceration. Between late June and December of 2021, defendant Fields met plaintiff at the Letcher County Courthouse in the evening or early morning hours approximately 6 times. During these meetings, defendant Fields' behavior escalated from flirtatious comments to forcible kissing to oral, then inner, all of which occurred at the Letcher County Courthouse after hours in Judge Mullins' chambers here in the, holy crap. Oh, see? I was right. I didn't even know this stuff existed, guys. I called this shit. Damn. Plaintiff did not consent. These meetings would typically occur the night before plaintiff had a court appearance. And defendant Fields would put plaintiff's ankle monitor back on and otherwise fix it so that she would appear compliant with her home incarceration the following day. Oh, God. Upon information and belief, in late December 2021, certain persons at the Letcher County Courthouse were notified that defendant Fields was having inappropriate communications and or relations with plaintiff and were provided text messages evidencing this inappropriate communication relations. Upon information and belief, defendant Fields became aware of the information contained in the preceding paragraph. In late December of 2021, defendant Fields stopped communicating with plaintiff by text messaging or otherwise. Upon information and belief, in early January 2022, defendant Fields filed a complaint against plaintiff, claiming that she was not complying with the terms of her home incarceration. Upon information and belief, this complaint was filed maliciously by defendant Fields in an effort to punish plaintiff and in an attempt to save his own job and reputation. Plaintiff was then arrested on January 26, 2022 in Pike County, Kentucky. Plaintiff is terrified that she will be transferred to the Letcher County Jail, where upon information and belief, defendant Fields' wife is employed as an officer. Oh my God. And where upon information and belief, defendant Fields was previously employed. Plaintiff has serious concerns for her safety and welfare if she were to be transferred to Letcher County Jail. Upon information and belief, there are other women who defendant Fields has similarly abused. Oh boy. How old's Fields? His wife works there too. Upon information and belief, the Letcher County Sheriff and unknown supervisors of defendant Fields failed to adequately train and supervise defendant Fields. Damn. Upon information and belief, the Letcher County Sheriff knew or should have known that defendant Fields was sexually abusing females, including plaintiff, in his charge. Upon information and belief, the Letcher County Sheriff did not reasonably respond to reports or suspicions of the sexual abuse portrayed by defendant Fields. I want to see that. The defendant's conduct described above has caused severe injury to plaintiff. Oh, shit. Damn. Okay, this was decided August 28th, 2024. What was decided? Holy shit. They quashed the subpoena. The subpoena is hereby quashed, and the parties are precluded from issuing subpoenas for documents in the possession, custody, or control of the Attorney General's Office of Special Prosecutions related to the criminal prosecution of defendant Ben Fields. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, looks like we're going to go ahead and get some FOIA requests going on Ben Fields here and his wifey poo. Yeah. So we'll do that. I'll leave you guys with, wow. This is just, this type of stuff is, yeah. What's mainstream media think about this? They just think like, and nothing to see here. Stupid fucks. The platforms that they have. There's a lot to see here. You know, that just pisses me off. And this is an interest of the we have a huge interest in this. So let's put in Kentucky Sheriff. See what pops up.
Judge could be heard sobbing.
The cries and the wails that you heard once they
testimony is revealing there was a dispute between Judge Kevin Mullins and the Kentucky Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins involving the sheriff's teenage daughter. This lip-syncing video of the sheriff and his daughter shows them goofing around as she sits on the back of his police car. Their choice of songs, of all things, I Shot the Sheriff. The police officer testified that the sheriff's daughter's phone number was on the judge's phone.
I was told that Sheriff Steins had tried to call his daughter. And he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also.
Moments later, he shot the judge.
They said there was 4 people in that room, right? Well, there's only 2 seats. 2 people were standing, 2 seats.
The sheriff's teenage daughter's phone number was already in the judge's.
You don't know that. You don't, that's not what was testified to. That was not what was testified to. None of this shit, like, there's no phone records. They don't even have them yet. They don't know if the number was programmed in. None of what he is saying right now is, like, do people have a comprehension issue? Like, do you people out here covering cases have an issue comprehending what people are saying? That is not what was testified to. And if you can go and blame the defense attorney for not getting clarification on that.
Phone. And that's what he's doing in the moments before he fires his weapon. So it's clear to me and clear to everyone that the motivation.
Clear to everyone. No, it's not. Vinny, come on, man.
Behind this is connected to the sheriff's teenage daughter.
I'm wondering if any of those people in the room were the daughter and a wife with others. 4 people, 2 chairs, 2 people had to be standing. If it was the wife and the daughter, I mean, I think it was who they were eating with other people. They were eating lunch with other people. So I'm curious if it was those type of people. His daughter is stunning, just saying. I mean, she must take after her mom. Let's see what else they're saying.
Wasn't present, but when he was taken into custody, I was told by one of the other officers that were there that he made the comment, they're trying to kidnap my wife and kid.
Sitting shackled with his attorney for his preliminary hearing, the last time former Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Steins was in a courtroom, investigators say he shot and killed Judge Kevin Mullins.
I have officers confirm that the sheriff's daughter's phone number was on Judge Mullins's phone.
See?
Yes.
It was on
The lead
there.
investigator
But
testified.
was it on there because the sheriff just dialed his daughter's number? You know, to see if she would pick up from that. Like, I don't know. Or here, let me dial it. Right when I dial it, when you dial a number that's already programmed, it'll pop up the name. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, and then that would look like they hit a number that was already programmed in the phone versus dialing it. That's interesting.
Saying Steins and Mullins were alone in the judge's chambers after the two had lunch earlier that day.
I was told that the judge made a statement to Mickey about, do we need to meet private in my chambers?
The investigator says Steins took Mullins' phone and called his own daughter, whose number was in the judge's phone. He says Steins then shot the judge.
You guys
Sure.
You guys hear this? Like, just so we're clear, that's not how the testimony went. And I blame the defense attorney to say that, because the next question should have been like, well, where did you get that information from? Because you testified that you guys, nobody had these phones, that they had to be taken to a lab to be downloaded, that you guys didn't go in the phones. You don't have the phone records. So how would you know any of this shit that you're saying right here? Something has to be a lie. You're allowed to testify to hearsay during probable cause hearings, preliminary hearings.
Sheriff Steins uses his telephone to make some phone calls. He then borrows Judge Mullins' cell phone and appears to make a call on that.
It's a really clear view right there. This doesn't look like a chambers area. This looks like a little like 4x4 freaking like office. Like just like nothing like you see on TV, guys. Like, oh God, look at the guy. I got the camera or I got the clock. Look at the clock up there to the left. We got a shot of the clock. Yes, Lana. Yes, baby. Hold on. Yes. I want to know what time this happened. What time was there? I mean, obviously there's not going to be a 911 call, right? It was like a janitor's call. Yeah. That's the judge's office. Oh, I'm not disputing that it's not, but look at over here to the right, there's a clock. And if this is the shorthand and that's the longhand, it's 10 to 2. 10 to 2 p.m. is the shooting. Now, if it's the opposite way and it's the shorthand's over there on the left, then it would be 11:10. So 2, it'd be like either 1:50 or 11:10. Thank you.
And that led to what you
And just so we're clear, just so you guys can see what he does here, the way this guy's desk is set up, all right? So judge is right here. The desk faces the 2 seats, like so. Where are the seats that you could see in a different photo? Anything? No. Like the 2 chairs are just, they're in front of his desk. And so when he actually was standing in there, they're saying he was seated at first. So that means he would have been sitting here, right here. And then he would, if he was just going to stand up and shoot him, how did he move over here to the side to shoot him? Like why wouldn't you just stand up and shoot him right across from where you were seated? You know? But they're saying he was sitting first, then stood up, and then he would have moved around here to the side. Okay. And then look, and then he comes back. Or back around to then be where he initially was sitting to then lean over a little bit and shoot him, you know.
and that led to what you just saw.
Stein's attorney argued that he should be charged with manslaughter.
I've heard nothing that indicates that this is not, an example of an extreme emotional disturbance relative to the phone.
But the judge agreed with the prosecutor there was enough probable cause for a murder charge.
Evidence presented in this court today is that the judge was intentionally shot and killed, shot multiple times by the sheriff, and there's probable cause to find grand jury murder charge.
Yeah, I agree.
DeAndrea Turner, WLKY News.
Oh wait, wow. This you got more out of this. Wait a second. Okay, you see how the chairs slid out a little bit? The chair slid out a little bit? Okay. So it looked like he was sitting, slid it out a little bit. Then look at now the judge's chair was just twirling. See, now watch. Judge is getting up. He wasn't squirming. He got up. Like he wasn't just like twitching or something like that. He got up. He's about to get up. Why wouldn't you stay under? I mean, let me see this. I want to know where he was shot in the where these bullets ended up. So he's underneath the desk over to the left in the corner. Look at, see? Oh, wow. He's about to leave. He was about to leave. He opens up the door. Oh, wow. Eight times. Police say surveillance footage not shown in court also shows the sheriff making multiple calls to his daughter just before the murder. Right there. See what they're reporting is like saved? Detective Clayton's name were confirmed that police found Steins' daughter's phone number saved in the judge's phone. That wasn't testified to, but I don't doubt it. Cops reportedly suggested he murder was being investigated as possible sex scandal. Days before the shooting, Steins was mentioned in a lawsuit filed by a woman alleging that a deputy force. This wasn't. How did they say this was days before, you guys? Like, that's not true. This was filed January 31st, 2022. This was not days before. There's way more to this. This wasn't. Days before the shooting, Steins was mentioned in a lawsuit filed by women alleging that a deputy forced her to have. You guys, do you see that? That is not true. The file's right here. 1/31/2022. Leave it to the New York Post to fuck that all up. Yep, there you go. The federal investigation started days before this, approximately 6 days. Well, where's that information? Sandra Birchmore vibes, in my opinion. Steins was last deposed in civil on the Monday before the shooting. That's it. So he finally got deposed in this manner. Again. Depends on what the questions were in the deposition. Did those questions lead this sheriff to, why are they asking me all these questions about my daughter? Why are they asking me all these questions about my daughter? Did you know that Judge Mullins has your daughter's number stored in her phone? You know, think about that. Like, what questions were asked in that deposition? Because in depositions, you can do it could be a two-way thing. Like, we're deposing you, but we're also asking for us to be able to get your phone records or something like that. So that would make any father go mad. Yeah, that's why I question I feel like he didn't know. Okay? Because if he would have known and been involved in their little whatever, he would have been way calm, collected, because he could probably kill that judge and get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that seems to me like that's a total, like, yes, I agree. Yeah, that's what I think. I think he was not part of this. Okay, he's not part of this. And he was like probably like, what the fuck have y'all been doing? You know? Judge Steins, well, you mean Sheriff Steins. His daughter was 16 until recently. Treat me fairly. From the reaction here, I don't think that the sheriff knew. I'll give the New York Post one credit for this, which is the action shots. But they need somebody else to give the dialect. See, he was over there on the side when he first shot him, because then he moves. So right there, he's walking now back over around here. Judges trying to get up right there. Damn. And he was about to leave. Then he was about to leave. He opened up the door first. Her record be sealed. Why the? You guys see this backpack right here? What is that? Is that backpack right there? That to me, judges have backpacks. You see that? Like, what the fuck is that? Very interesting to me. Right there. Like, what is all this shit? Like this backpack here? Who the fuck was in that room? Who are those 4 people in that room? You know, the other thing is like, he didn't even ask him any questions. Okay. So I feel like they already had the conversation and the judge was denying it whenever they talked about this before. Like, oh God, no. Who told you that? Fuck no. They were asking me they were saying all this stuff in the deposition, you know, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, you know? So I feel like they had a conversation beforehand, because for there not to be any conversation here, that tells me that confirmation was made. Confirmation was made. And how do we know that actually whatever happened in here was the confirmation was made, because there was no talking about it. Right. You know what I also think is interesting is that the judge never, or the sheriff never said, like, he pulled the gun on me and I shot him in self-defense or something, thinking, how would he know there would be camera in here? Because he could have tried to say that and he didn't. And then that's why I think it's interesting that they didn't question him. Where was this camera at? What kind of, you know? It's wild. This stuff's wild. All those cups on the judge's desk. Let me do this again. Yeah, Sheriff Steins was deposed a few days before the shooting. Ned. Let's see. Ned. There's not a gag on this or anything. All right, well, we'll make some calls, fill out some reports, see what we can get. I think that I'm sorry, but a lot of dads in the situation if you did something like that. And but what seems to me is that this wasn't like, I don't know. No, and it sounded like the sheriff wants to talk. Yeah, he does. Yeah. I don't think he had anything to do with this stuff. I could be wrong. He knows there's a camera. It's always on because of the essay and the W committee with the female prisoner in his chambers. That was 2022, though. You would think that it wouldn't still be there. You know what I mean? Think about that. Y'all are getting accused of this stuff, and you still have it in there. That's when people think that they are just so motherfucking untouchable. Marty. Wonder if the backpacks wanted the 4 people who were outside chambers when the sheriff. Yeah, I want to know I want to know what that backpack had in it. Give me a crime scene. Those videos have to exist. Damn. All right, guys. Being sheriff in small area, sheriff would have knowledge of dirt. Now, when it hits home, that's another issue. If it took a deposition for him to find this out, I would say that the sheriff didn't know. You think those people are telling the sheriff about, oh yeah, hey, we're hanging out with your daughter? No. You know, that's sorry, but this is not going to know that. This was like, and this wasn't a sheriff going after a judge. This was like a dad being a dad. I think that the officer that testified really sealed the fate of actually the shooter here, to say that this was not premeditated, because then it wouldn't be murder. All right. Well, rewind back and listen to the camera surveillance that I'm going after right now. We might be able to get some of our own answers. Talk to you guys then. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Be kind to one another. Until next time. Woo! Kentucky, you crazy. Yeah, I think he saw red, man. I mean, that's a guy seeing red. Mod Squad, love you. Thank you, mods, members, subscribers. Woo!